importa el resultado. Ahorita la tecnología está tan avanzada, los programas están tan avanzados que salvan la vida.
Puerto Rican Unity for Progress is a nonprofit organization in Camden, New Jersey. Prevent Cancer Foundation funding supports PROP to provide the community with cancer prevention and early detection information.
We provide social services from employment to senior citizens program, youth program, and we're doing the free mammogram for women that doesn't have health insurance.
En el primer examen que me hice de la mamografía, cuando fue que resultó el cáncer.
We actually brought out survivors that have went through the procedures before, so they're kind of sharing the importance of why they should get a mammogram.
Bueno, muchas gracias al programa y a la Fundación del Cáncer, sobre todo el pase que me dieron. Ahora sí que me salvaron la vida, se puede decir.
Thank you to the Prevent Cancer Foundation for the services that you have allowed us to provide.
All right, welcome back. So we have a couple more quick donations to go through, and then we'll run that over. We have a $100 donation from Batsy. It says, started watching GDQ videos over Christmas and am now really happy to join in live and donate to such a great cause. My father's a survivor, but cancer still sucks on so many levels. Let's kick it in the butt. Greetings from Germany. Greetings from Germany, friend. And one more quick one here. We have $10 from Sebington. Says, this is my second AGDQ. This event got me into watching speedrunners on Twitch last year, and I want to return the favor in any way I can. Keep fighting for a good cause and save those animals. All right, I think the runners are ready. All right, let's throw it over.
What was that? Okay, this is Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, a Source game from 2006, made by the same people who ended up making Dishonored. You guys are ready on the timer? 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
So, starting off here, we have a cutscene. Fenrig is explaining us what we need to do in this temple. We can just kick him out of the way. You can't do anything else except press your kick key. And so, with this being a Source game, you can bunny hop in it.
And have no fear. I'll be watching over you.
Get rid of that off the hotbar just because it gets in the way and we don't use it in the run.
Pull the lever. Then hurry through the far gate. See the planks around that pillar.
And coming up here, we're going to come up to a stack of boxes that are blocking a place we need to go through. So we're going to move 2 boxes out of the way and take the third one with us for a trick later.
Use the spell I taught you. Now is your chance. And the dog will hold no secret.
When I'm going through these little tunnels, I'm mashing my strafe keys, just because that gives you a little bit of extra speed going through.
See if you can open the chest. You never know what you might find. The rope. Cut the rope. Think. Kick that creature back and watch it fall.
And now coming up here, we have the first box clip. You run up to against a wall of anything, and you just throw the box at your feet, and you go through the wall. And now, most of the time when we do that, it'll put us through something that you need to progress through the story to get past. And so there we just do another one. And coming up here, I'm going to put a skill point into melee combat, and then throw my sword out. And once the screen goes white, pick it back up, because the screen going white is actually a trigger to clear my inventory. So now that I picked it up after I hit the trigger, I'll still have the sword. Now would be a good time for a donation or two.
Perfect. We have $25 from Almighty Duke. Says, here's some more money to leave cancer in the dust, like the frames. Thank you for the 25. We also have $100 from Limewood 161 that says, I heard this was the place to win spare ribs. A spare rib is best rib. Kill the animals. That is actually in regards to the spare ribs banner, which you can win. Currently available for any donation upwards to $50 or more.
Deliver the crystal to Manilag and we can be on our way.
Got time for one more?
All right, so
Nope.
right here, what Raz is doing is he's doing what's called a pause launch. So he's pausing the game on the edge of a surface, which is going to propel him forward. And so when he unpauses, he launches just like that. So now we're hoping we can get inside the window here. And that's a major skip right
Nice.
there. Good job, Raz.
I'm glad I got that in first try. And now coming up here, just lean through the door and hit the lever to open it. You're supposed to kill a Cyclops or something, but you can just open the door and keep going instead. At the start of there, you saw what was called the horse skip, where you pause the game when the loading bar reaches a certain point, and then you save and load again. And it keeps you off of a horse, which is supposed to, or like you're supposed to be riding a horse into the town, and it breaks you off of the horse so you can go and do the pause launch there.
You know what they say about the size of a
And then
man's
coming up here,
gate?
we have a clip with this hay bale instead of a box. And you need to throw the hay bale back forwards and jump off of it, because the trigger for the next level is actually in the ceiling. Now, it's nighttime now, and there's necromancers coming. You can still lean, even though I'm still technically half asleep. So we kick him out of the way just because waiting for him to go around us is slow.
Prepare yourself.
Try and do a barrel clip through here. And since I missed that, it's faster if you miss it once to just go around. And what I'm doing here is called dagger boosting, which when you charge up a power attack, let go, and then jump right away, you'll get a burst of speed, and you can bunny hop with that speed. And now here, you can climb up a nearly vertical surface just by mashing the spacebar. And then we need to drop down here. We land in the tree, because if you don't hit the tree, you'll take too much falling damage and die.
It's gone.
Not if you follow it across the roof. There it is. Quickly. Jump across. You can do it.
And then here, we have a little dagger boost into a curve around that we want to try and hit to land on this roof. I didn't get that, so just walk around instead.
That foul thing took the high. There's no time. We have to get through there. Careful.
Yeah, you'll see him doing these dagger boosts a lot, where he powers up a sprint and then a power attack, and then he does a jump right when he's doing the motion to dash forward, and that gives him a big momentum boost. The thing is, it's really precise. It's really hard to do. So you'll see him get a lot of them, and they're really awesome. But there will be some that he won't be able to get, and that's okay.
Careful. Can't hesitate now.
right here, he's trying to find the edge. Now he's going to do another pause launch from this point. We're just going to skip a significant portion of the level. Not quite as big as before, but there we go.
Now coming into the loading zone here, we want to take this box off the top of the other box here, the big crate. And there's this warehouse that we're supposed to get into that's full of the necromancers that attack the town. And we just clip through the wall of the warehouse to get inside. Because of that, there's no guards inside like there's supposed to be. And we can just continue on.
If you get yourself killed, your father will be most displeased.
I wish it was that easy to go through walls in real life, man.
Oh, yes. I've known him.
Now coming up through here, we need to grab that ring to use later. It gives us 10 extra mana when we put it on. And here we just do another barrel clip through a gate,
Nice.
and this right here is the trigger for the end of the level. Normally you need to run around and grab a crystal or find out the crystal isn't there. And now, at the start of this area here, I'm mashing kick
Wake up.
because that makes you stand up. You're supposed to be lying down and in a cutscene now. So we're in a cutscene. Running down here triggers another cutscene, so we're in 2. And then we clip out of bounds through here. Or not out of bounds, but just through before we're supposed to be.
And no,
Nice
just
job.
to see her reaction. I'm a friend.
And then we climb up this pole.
And could be even more.
Now he's going to try to jump straight up this pole as well. Let's hope this works out okay.
Here we go.
Thank you, game.
I'll take care of it. Just be ready when the gangplank goes down.
So here we're not supposed to be on this ship going onto it this way. So instead, what we're doing is we jump over on top of the little cover over top of the ballista ports. And then there's actually a gangplank, like crossbar on the other side that we climb up. And then we break onto the ship here. And then we grab this box and do another clip down to the trigger that'll end the level.
This clip right here is one of the more inconsistent skips in the game, trying to go through the floor. You'll see he's having to crouch, he's having to find a visual cue to set up, and sometimes it just doesn't work out, but that's okay. You can just reload, try again. Hopefully we'll get this in just a second. I'm on game, I believe.
There we go.
Perfect.
Now would be a good time for donations. I just have a little menuing to do in between here.
Okay, cool. So we have $20 here from I Am a Fish. Says, hi there, I've been watching since the Monkey Ball streams yesterday. Always a pleasure to donate to such a wonderful cause. My mother and my grandmother had cancer among some of the
I feel
people
nauseous
that cancer has
waking
touched in my
up.
family. They both have survived though, and I do know that some are not so lucky. So for this donation, I would like to pledge towards playing the hero story for Sonic Adventure in honor of the two of them, and also to comforting the final boss of Undertale. Hugs all around to everyone. Thank you so much.
Can we get the boat moving? This cabin could use a breeze to clear the hot air.
And we also have $10 from Cirrus. Says in GDQ style, I'll throw in another 10 bucks if you pronounce my name right. Well, I hope I did. Donation goes to fight the Undertale genocide boss. Ooh, we got a little bit of a war going on there for that donation incentive. And another $100 from Popetato62. Says, love this event, happy to contribute to the bonus warps race. And that race is coming up later today if we meet the incentive. Currently we are at, looks like a little over $300 of the $10,000 for the bonus warpless race. So if you want to see that happen, make sure to donate.
The temple is riddled with their tunnels. Sadly, their hate is justified. Wizards created orcs for shock troops during the War of the Blood Moon, fusing demon blood with human flesh.
All right.
They won't take
So coming up right
kindly to
here,
a
we have another pause launch that we're going to do from the beginning of this beach. Normally in the main game, if you were to play this casually, you're going to go up this canyon here, and then you're going to come upon an encampment of orcs that are entrenched in an abandoned town. But instead, we're just going to skip that entire thing by flying right over top of it. So this is one of the harder pause launches in the game, so hopefully we can get this here within just a couple tries. I believe, Raz, you can do it. What we're hoping to do here is look straight down this canyon and boost off after, I believe it's about 12 seconds, and then hit a rock that's going to launch us up at a different angle that allows us to reach the very, very end of this segment.
There we go, like that.
Perfect.
And so now we take this barrel with us, and we're going to use it to clip through this archway, because skipping everything in the beginning actually blocks us from being able to get through the intended way. We actually have to do this clip in order to progress through the game.
So you might have seen him a second ago grab that barrel with a power called telekinesis, which he'll also use in other points throughout the run. And right here, this clip is also quite difficult, but when he gets it, he'll be able to go out of bounds, which is pretty cool to see. Perfect, nice job.
There we go. Now we have to crouch underneath the level there, and now we're falling into the loading zone. And then we jump, we spam jump here to just get back in bounds.
The altar room is this way. Let's hurry.
I don't like the feel of this.
And now here we have a dagger boost where we're supposed to have a rope bow. Doing the pause launch across the beach completely skips it. And so you're supposed to be using the rope bow on the wooden crossbeam there to climb up and then continue on. But because we don't have the rope bow, we can't actually use it. And we need to do this dagger boost over instead.
This is one of the more precise dagger boosts as well.
There we go.
Awesome.
And now here, we've got this room full of orcs, which normally you'd try and fight them and then go on to do the rest of the story and everything. What we do is we take a barrel, get it stuck in this middle pillar here,
She means you.
and then run and grab another barrel. And then we use it to clip through here. So long as the orcs don't get in the way. If they get too close, it'll mess up with the barrel throw.
That poor orc. Usually what you can do here too is you
There we
can,
go.
perfect, nice. You can run through the middle of that archway, and that confuses the AI of the orcs so they don't chase you quite as closely, which is what he ended up doing there. It worked out really nicely.
Yeah, the orcs don't know how to go through the archways like that for some reason.
There's sure to be an inscription.
And now coming up here, you're supposed to be going through and fighting this statue of a spider and finding gems that slot into it. We just lean into the wall there and hit a lever,
Gem.
and then we fall into this pool of water and grab the last gem.
Represents life and birth.
And then we need to climb back up from where we just dropped down, because you're not supposed to come that way. You're supposed to go around to do a bunch of other stuff.
You can jump as long as you hit the water.
And now here, we basically are either hoping for a good chain swing, or I need to climb up high on the chain in order to land on this platform to get back. And then we just climb up here. And then we climb over here on top of this pole, come up. And then we do a dagger boost across. And conveniently enough, inside of this rock are 2 of the other gems that we need. And now here, I'm lining up right between the 2 spots, and I just put 2 gems in at the same time. So we're inside of 2 cutscenes right now. And while we're in these cutscenes, if you pick up anything, it just disappears. That would be a good time for some donations.
All right. We have $75 from R10s, has been watching since Classic Games Done Quick and haven't been able to donate until now. So glad to finally be able to contribute to such a great cause. Keep up the good work, you guys. Also, we do have an incentive for the next run coming up for Fallout New Vegas. So if you want to get your character name in, currently the final Pam is winning at $2,288.23. And Thick McRunfast is second with $1,841. So if you want to change that, make sure to get a donation in before that run starts.
So what happened there is when you lean into the corner there, the devs left in a little trigger that we can hit, which just skips an entire scripted fight where some spiders come in and invade the room. And so during that fight, you're supposed to die, and we just got revived by the person inside of our head.
Not surprising. We're joined even more closely, and some of my powers are yours to command.
Where's Aaron?
Gone with the skull. We'll have to hurry.
And so
Stop him?
we don't have any of our gear right now, and we just need to run around to find the rest of our stuff.
Let's show them that they've made a little mistake. Stranger will die.
Right here, there's a neat trick where there's a door that we're trying to get through, but it's locked. And normally you're supposed to go around and do this alternate path, but if you walk to the end of that hallway, conveniently you can unlock the door yourself.
I felt naked like this.
There's nothing wrong with feeling naked, my dear.
And then coming up through here, we just run through these tunnels. And there's these 2 orcs here having a conversation. We just go through them. And then there's this Cyclops. We just ignore him as well. And instead, we do a 10-second pause launch here.
So what we're trying to do with this pause launch here is look straight at the rock. We're going to boost into the rock and then flip right behind us, basically do a 180 and land on a path up. Right there. Perfect.
I've had enough
Good job.
of orcish tunnels, haven't you? Let's go.
So the next map is basically just another pause launch to skip most of it. Getting that dagger boost there over top of the little barricade is nice, but doesn't save that much.
There's a nice little pause launch just to get to the end of this ravine. Then we're going to take a path to the right. There will be a lot of little pause launches here. This is a pretty fun part of the run.
There we go. This is the end of the map. You're supposed to go through a whole area that's infested with goblins, and this is supposed to be your introduction to them. But you can just skip past all of them. We see one goblin in the run, and that's this guy right up here. And then coming up here, there's supposed to be a giant worm that comes and destroys everything, but we just pause launch past it.
This worm fight took me forever to get through on my first playthrough, so it's pretty nice to be able to just skip past it now.
When you land here, you're actually above where you're supposed to get. So there's no floor loaded, and you just want to do that. Doing the forward power attack with the daggers will negate the fall damage that you have to a point. And so you use that to just not take the damage that you need. You saw that in the beginning of the run as well. And then coming up here, we have the longest pause launch in the game.
says pause launch here. This is skipping a section where you have to normally go and let some water into this area, which will lift up the raft and raise you to the very top of this cylinder that we're in. And instead, we're just going to boost all the way to the top.
There we go, nice. So now, we're at the end here of this map, and we're going to buy a spell called Sanctuary, which Sanctuary acts as like a magical shield that blocks damage, but it also happens to block falling damage. And it doesn't really have a limit on how much damage it'll block. So we just kind of throw ourselves off here, and because of Sanctuary, we don't die from landing. And coming up right here, the bottom step triggers a kind of Indiana Jones sort of thing where there's a trap door here that has a barrel on it. And just jumping over that bottom step makes it so the door doesn't open and you don't need to wait for the barrel to get out of the way. And then coming up here is another section where we're supposed to have the rope bow, but we don't. So we do a dagger boost into the rock and bounce off. And now here we just jump down here, and this is the end of the level.
Whatever you do, don't show your new form. They'll never take us back to Stonehelm.
And now, shoutouts to Cropax. He sadly couldn't make it here. He's the current world record holder for this game. He just got a PB this morning of a 24:54 or 23:54 in game time. And sadly, he couldn't make it, so I made this shirt for him instead. Now it's good for some donations.
Okay, just real quick, that shirt is amazing, and I appreciate that. But we do have a donation from Mind Baster for $25. Says, hey Raz, I finally get to see you live, so here's some money for a good cause. Also have $100 from Beat Moral Improve. Thanks so much for all the time and effort you guys spend on this event. Here's to beating cancer and saving the frames. Thank you.
All right, so coming up here, you're supposed to have this whole chapter where we go into the Necromancer's lair and steal back the crystal from the beginning of the game. But what we can do instead is just get this barrel stuck in a rock, and then we use another barrel here to just clip through this grate. And on the other side of this grate is the trigger for the end of the level. So just this one skip alone will save something like 4 or 5 minutes of your speed running through it. Like that there.
Perfect.
Aw, poor Leanna. It's just as well. She would have been shattered to see you come into your true
And so there, that was what's called a double dagger boost. I was just practicing those this morning because that was something that I just recently found out about and wanted to put in the run. So it's a normal dagger boost, except you also have another power attack in there, and that gets you even more speed off of it. And so here in this cutscene, we're talking to Duncan, and he'll try and face you no matter where you're leaning. Just kind of a little thing where you'll see him turning to face the camera. And now here we do a dagger boost across the gap here. And then we go into another cutscene just shortly here. So if you want to read some donations.
Tell me quickly. Come on.
So forceful.
There's a Cyclops sitting right across the path. No one's getting anywhere with him there.
Get me to the valve control house and I'll get you inside. But now, there's an undead Cyclops outside. I'm not going unless you can kill it.
You can also just kind of lean through doors. Just certain doors, but it works here really well. Where you can just kind of see through it.
strength for Arantir.
Now coming up here, you have options of which path you can take, and so the fastest one is to open that door there. And we used to do a strat to use the rope bow and get over and around to get this key that's in this wall somewhere. There it is. And then we just open the door from that. We need to wait for Percy to run over. And now coming over here, we're just going to get another mana potion. The whole idea behind the run for the routing it is we want to make sure that we have enough mana potions for your final fight at the end, where we use all magic to finish the fight a lot easier than if you had endgame weaponry and stuff, which we don't even get in the run. So now here, Percy's telling us we did a good job, and so for that, we're just going to hit him off the ladder. Doing that makes him show up down here again with the door open for the next loading zone. And now I'm just spending the last skill points to bring us up to a total of 80 mana points. And then here we're just running through a town. I'm going to do a little dagger boost here and then land on top of the little aqueduct and just drop down, grab the mana potion, and keep going. We have another little dagger boost over here that'll just go over this little crevasse. And then now there's zombies in the town. There's one of them. We see like 2 more in the whole run. Here they are. And now we're going to run up here and grab a hay bale. And then we're going to do a short 5-second pause launch here while holding the hay bale. To land on this little grate here. And then we use the hay bale to clip through the grate instead of using a winch to open up the whole area for us. Now, coming up in this next area is a trick that I found out about this morning, so I'm not expecting to get it. I'm going to give it about 3 tries, and if I can get it, great. If not, I've got a backup to do. Which, it uses double dagger boosts to skip a cutscene instead of just using a pause launch or a regular dagger boost. Now, when you're walking upstairs, if you strafe into the side of them, for some reason it gives you almost sprinting speed without using your stamina.
But what door does it open?
So the skip that I'm not sure of, or I'm still learning how to do, is we need to do a double dagger boost off of here and then go through the doors that I just opened. Sadly, I didn't get it, so I'm just going to go for the backup strat, which is a short pause launch here.
So you notice that there is a dragon swooping overhead. In the normal game, you do fight a couple of dragons, but in the run, we just skip them all.
And so now we just got to wait for this gate to open behind us, and then we'll be entering into the epilogue. So if you have like a short donation to read, that'd be a good time.
Yeah, perfect. I have $25 from Mr. Mark that says, I have good memories of Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, but I don't remember it like this. Awesome stuff, and keep on going.
Alrighty, now coming up here, I'm gonna try and do a dagger boost and land on this windowsill.
The final gauntlet, my prince. Together we shall have Arantir and the skull. The final gauntlet, my prince. Together we shall have Arantir and the skull.
What that dagger boost was supposed to do was just land us all the way down here from the windowsill in the beginning.
Together we shall have Arantir and the skull.
So that was just me forgetting to make a save there, and I took extra falling damage that I wasn't planning on, so we have to do this short little section again. You're gonna hear this guy screaming some more. And again, because I didn't make another save. But that's what that strat was the first time that I was trying to do.
Getting a little unlucky there on the mages managing to hit him.
Yeah, I'm just going to use a sanctuary here. And then using that, the fireballs that the mages shoot will bounce off the sanctuary and break a rope that I would have had to break myself. And now here we just need to climb up this chain and jump through to the next level. And so coming up here, there's this long hallway that's supposed to have a trap in it. If you do a dagger boost, it just won't trigger the trap. And now we jump down here with another sanctuary. And these 4 guards that are following me, you need at least 3 of them to die for the next gate to open. And so you just kill them by dropping those rocks on them. And now here's the fight towards the last big fight, where if you have N tier stuff, it still takes a while, or you can just throw rocks at them with telekinesis.
What? Only 4? You're running.
Turns out that throwing rocks is pretty strong.
Overall, pretty alright fight there. Now, we've just got one more big drop, and then we use Sanctuary, and then that'll be the end of the run. So we're coming up on time here in a bit.
So normally right there, you're going down layer upon layer of enemies to battle, but you can just jump off the edge, use Sanctuary, take fall damage, and be fine.
And so here we're just using Dagger Boost to hop through. Something nice I found out is you can do a double Dagger Boost to end up right here. And then here. And time. So there was there's supposed to be a big final fight there, but you can just crouch down and grab the Skull of Shadows, which is like the whole point of the game. You can just grab that and put it back down, which triggers one of the endings of the game. So, if any of you guys are interested in learning this run, Cropax just recently released a tutorial for the game. It's on his YouTube channel, and it's a great tutorial. It goes in depth on how to do all of the tricks that I just showed off. And other than that, thanks for watching.
All right, thank you for that awesome run, razgrillz.